Welcome back to the International Leadership Podcast. Once again, my name is Joe Beauchamp. We are on episode 6. I'm your host for today. Today, we're diving back into the continuation of the book, Developing the Leader Within You 2.0 from John C. Maxwell. One of my favorite books to train and coach using this as a guide. John Maxwell is probably the penultimate leadership guru here in the USA and around the world, written over 100 books on leadership and various related topics such as communication, personal growth. Developing Leader Within You 2.0 is a fantastic foundational book, but it's also great for CEOs and anybody in leadership. Literally could be government leaders. I don't care if you're running a multi-billion-dollar company. There's great value that you can get from this book, and it's always good to go through the basics. One of the things I always remind people when they're going through these books and we're doing this training coaching is the mindset of, I already know this, I already do this, I'm already good at this. Because I do hear that a lot, and I'll hear that from people that aren't really very good. But I'll hear it from anybody. So whether you're good or whether you're great or amazing or whether you've gotten great results, there's always room for improvement. Everyone can be on this continued growth journey. So I just encourage everybody, as you dive into this book and you go through the lessons in there, that you, instead of thinking, hey, I'm already good at this, think about, hey, what can I do as the next step? How can I elevate my skill set? How can I elevate my mindset? How can I become a little bit more effective in this area? Somebody wrote a book called What Got You Here Won't Get You There. I can't remember the author right now. And it really had to do with when people are successful, they tend to overestimate all of their skill set and believe that every single attribute that they have is what made them successful. Meanwhile, it's really a small subset of their skills that made them successful, and they're successful in spite of some other characteristics that they have that are actually detracting from their success. So the book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There, points out some of these ideas and helps people to focus on, just because I'm successful doesn't mean I still don't have to grow and develop into the next version of myself to become even more successful. So let's dive into a quick review on some of the chapters in Developing Leader Within You 2.0. Starting off in chapter 1 is about leadership as influence. And you've heard me say probably a ton of times before that everyone can be a leader. Everyone is a leader. Everyone has a degree of influence on the world around you. I don't care if you can just consider yourself a parent and nobody reports to you, but you have kids, or maybe you don't even have kids. Maybe you're just in the community. You go to work, you show up, you've got coworkers. If you can influence the people around you, you are a leader. Everyone is going somewhere. Everyone follows some influencer somewhere, and you can be that influence. And if you develop that skill of influence, you will be a better leader, making the world a better place. Chapter 2 is on priority management. You can't really manage your time. Everyone gets 24 hours a day, the same number of minutes. Time disappears at the same rate pretty much for everybody, short of Einstein's theory of relativity. But anyway, other than that, what we do manage is what we do with that time. And so priority management is a great skill, not just for leaders, but really for everybody, to enhance your skill set on what is going to get your focus and what is going to be put on the back burner or delegated or just completely disregarded. Other great books on the topic of time and priority management would be a great book that I love by Brian Tracy. It's called Eat That Frog. Many of you have heard of it or seen it or read it before. Encourage you just to go get it again, go look through it. It's a very simple, short, easy book called Eat That Frog. It's about priority management. Chapter 3 is on character. Character is probably the first thing that anybody should work on regarding any aspect of your life. Take a look at our character. So the 3 main character attributes of good, effective, long-lasting leadership Number one is humility. Everyone can use a little bit more humility. Humility is the foundation of relationships. It's the foundation of leadership. It's the foundation of just being good friendships, any kind of interpersonal relationships. Humility is necessary. I embrace the humiliating things in life. I am often screwing up and sticking my foot in my mouth or doing something that's foolish. And I embrace that because to be humiliated means to be humble. I'd rather be humble than be arrogant. So embrace things like humility, work on humility. Character can be developed. When you hire and fire people, make sure that your number one reason for hiring or firing or promoting anybody is based upon character and their good value system that's demonstrated in their day-to-day actions. But character is something that can be developed. I've had people come to work for companies that I'm coaching, and they have questions, and those questions are often ethical questions, and I can coach them and push them in the direction of doing the right thing, of making more moral, ethical choices. They're usually very happy. I shouldn't say usually, all the time, they're happy to hear that you can do the right thing the right way and get good results from it. Some people believe mistakenly that by having poor character, you might get better results. And that is only a very temporary thing. If anything, in the long run, we just know it's been researched for literally thousands of years. It's been researched, and doing the right thing, doing the moral, ethical thing is a great standard for life. And it's going to create the greatest success in life. So here's a standard that you can live by. If everything in your life was to be on the front page of the newspaper, read by everyone in your friends and family and everyone around you, would you be happy and proud of that information? And if not, change the decisions that you're making so that everything that you do in life could be front page news and you're okay with that. So the number one character trait is humility. Number two character trait is being trustworthy. The number three character trait is being courageous. There's lots of other character traits that are necessary for good leadership, but we just focus on those top three. Next chapter 4, is developing positive change. So a leader is here to lead into something different, right? So if we're just sitting around doing nothing different, we don't need a leader. We can just sit here and do nothing. We're not going anywhere, right? So good leaders are going somewhere different. They're somewhere better. They see that something can be changed. One of the best strategies that I've implemented in my life, and I recommend this for everybody, that is get a little sticky note, write, how can I add value today, and stick it right somewhere that you're going to see it as soon as you walk in to work every day, whether it's on your computer, on your wall. When I had my last job that I was a W-2 employee, I had that sticker right on my wall, and it said, how can I add value today? And before I sat down in my seat every day, I looked at that sign and I would think about, what can I do to add value to my team today? How can I make this culture better, the system better, my people better, the mindset, the strategies? What can I do to make things better today? And every day I developed or implemented or tried something new and different to improve the system, the workplace, the culture, and our team excelled. We were best in the state. The culture was amazing. Great group of people, and we got great results. And that's really just simply by thinking about, how can I make a positive change today, right now? What do I need to do right now? And that the book, chapter 4. So as a leader, we're always going to wear that people development hat, and we're going to develop the people on our team. If we're going to develop them to become better problem solvers. If we're hiring people based upon their character, right, their core values match the core values of our company, then we're going to have a good basis for which to make those decisions based upon, right? So we're going to train people on core character skills, core values, and we're going to train them on how to be better problem solvers, right? The more people that are carrying the load, the easier the load is going to be on you. So as a problem solver, not only are you going to develop yourself as a better problem solver, but you're going to develop the people on your team to also carry the weight of problem solving. So that's chapter 5. Chapter 6 is on attitude. Okay. It's referred to as the extra plus in leadership, is your attitude. So attitude, we've heard cliches such as your attitude determines your altitude. And attitude is a critical component of leadership, of relationships, of friendships, of any kind of interactions, because your attitude is going to determine Hey, what's going on inside of you? Are you getting emotionally triggered? Are you getting frustrated, annoyed, irritated, or are you happy? Right? People want to see that their leaders are unflappable. They want to see that in the midst of challenges and everything going haywire, their leaders are steady and stable and rock solid and moving forward, no matter what the wind is blowing, no matter what kind of storms are going on. Their leaders are solid. If the leader is solid, people know that you can trust them. And so that's why attitude is critical. Attitude, I want you to think of these things: a no problem attitude, an attitude of, okay, that's not a problem. We can handle that. No problem, right? Customer says something, employee says something, the industry changes, a war starts, whatever happens, not a problem. We can deal with that. Our company will survive. We'll do just fine. We're going to strategize around it. Getting emotionally upset never helps anything. It actually shuts down the part of your brain that you use for problem solving. So your attitude is going to determine how good you are at problem solving. If you have a good attitude, you're going to be a better problem solver. Another attitude is a we'll do it. We can do it attitude. Like it will, whatever it takes, we're going to do it, right? We're going to win type of attitude. And so some people have said, if it'll be done, I'll be done when I win. If I didn't win, I'm not done yet, right? So having that can do attitude or whatever it takes, I will be successful no matter what attitude. That's a great attitude to have. Again, these things require skill. They require development to be able to maintain that attitude. You'll hear some people, they meditate, some people pray, some people read their goals out loud every day, some people journal every day, some people journal their goals or they journal gratitude. Other people have come up with systems by which they make sure that they're being thankful all the time. I have one client that I worked with a while back, and I put a little smiley face with the word smile on a sticky note, and I stuck it by their door. Every time they walk out of the door, they see the word smile. They see a little smiley face. They remember, hey, smile, which basically is them telling themselves, hey, have a better attitude. Look like somebody who's happier, more positive, more energetic, more enthusiastic to be here. Don't look all down in the dumps. I call that person dumpy frumpy or frumpy dumpy, right? Frumpy dumpy can't lead. Frumpy dumpy, is toxic in the culture. Frumpy dumpy can't sell, doesn't make good customer relationships, doesn't provide a good customer experience. Frumpy dumpy has a bad attitude, right? So don't be that frumpy dumpy person who's down in the dumps all the time, shoulders down, face downcast, right? Smile, be happy, enjoy life, enjoy your job. If you're not having fun doing it, you can do something better. So have fun doing it. Life's about enjoyment. Fulfilling your purpose is enjoyable. Living with purpose is fun. So have some fun doing your life purpose, doing your job, and just have a positive attitude about it. There's definitely steps that you can take to improve your attitude. Give me a holler. Actually, it'd be great to hear from everybody at info@bochampteam.com. I'd like to hear your input for the podcast. If you're interested in any kind of resources or conversation, I'm happy to do a complimentary initial consultation with anybody, do some strategy session. More than happy to work with you. So give me a holler at info@bochampteam.com. Visit my website, bochampteam.com. That's B like Bravo, EAUCHAMPTEAM.com. It's right there on the screen and probably be in the link below. And I look forward to hearing from you and talking to you. So chapter 7 in the book is on servant leadership, right? So servant leadership requires knowing your team and knowing where they want to go, right? What are their skill sets? Okay, what are they thinking about? What's important to them, right? It's very people oriented, and it has to do with the mission of the organization being in alignment with the mission of the individual. So if you don't know the mission of the individual, how do you know that they're in alignment with the mission of the organization? If I'm going to ask the people on my team to sacrifice time with their family, their friends, their other things, and of course they are getting paid for it, but if I'm going to ask people to give the extra, go the extra mile for me, for this company, for our customers, why aren't I willing to go the extra mile for them? So, and I should be. And as a leader, that's servant leadership. Am I unblocking barriers to them being successful at their job? Am I providing the proper training? Am I equipping my team with every skill set, every mindset, every strategy, every tool that they need to be successful? So that's my job as a leader. I'm here to serve my team. If I can clear roadblocks, if I can create synergies between different people in the organization and outside of the organization, if I can provide that training, that proper equipping of my team, they're going to be successful. I am their champion for their success. I'm also interested and invested in them becoming a better version of themselves, right? I want people that work with me to educate and elevate their own selves so that they are now better, higher quality people that they want to be. They're on their own personal growth journey. I want the people that are working with me to know, hey, I'm a better version of myself. My relationships are better. My finances are better. My physical health is better. My mental health is better. My work life is better. I am much more knowledgeable, much more capable, much more skilled because I've been mentored by Joe Beauchamp. That's what I want people to think, right? So that's me as a servant leader. I'm serving the people on my team to help them achieve their goals, their life, their things that are important to them. And in return, if I think that their life is important and everything for them is important, they're going to be wanting to reciprocate, and that my company, my clients, my vendors, suppliers, et cetera, everybody here is important to them as well. So that's chapter 7, servant leadership. Chapter 8 probably should be one of the first chapters in the book, but I am not John Maxwell. He is smarter than I am. So we'll give him any of these chapters could be in any order. They're all very good. But chapter 8 is on vision. One of the most important jobs of a leader is to have a vision and to communicate that vision, really to over communicate. When you think about communication, I want you to think about over communicating. If you think saying it 2 or 3 times is enough, you need to at least double that. Okay. So people need to be communicated with multiple times in multiple different ways in order for them to get it. So you're going to create a vision. A vision is, what do I see the world looking like in the future? The greatest example of a vision, probably one of the most well-known, is the Martin Luther King "I Have a Dream" speech, where he spells out what does the world look like in some future time when things are better than they are today. And so that is vision. Can you create a vision, a compelling vision that your team, when they hear you talking about vision, that they are inspired to follow that vision? Your team should say, hey, we want to go there too. Take us there. After they see your vision, they want to go with you on your journey to the vision. They have to trust that you are the best candidate to take them there. If your team doesn't believe that you are the right person to bring them there, they're going to go there on their own, or they're going to go there following some other leader, but they're not going to go there following you. So when you come up with ideas and you have strategies, or when you implement things with your team, they're going to basically say, yeah, we'll do it our way or whatever. They're just not going to really pay attention to you because they don't really truly believe that you are the right leader to bring them to that vision. So chapter 8, having a vision, have the vision, communicate that vision clearly, be inspirational in your communication with that vision, over communicate that vision to your team. They should, I used to say, communicate with your team until they are saying the things that you said on their own when you're not even in the room, right? So if you just happen to be walking past the room, you hear people having a conversation, and you're like, wow, it's the exact same thing that I've been saying all the time, right? Now you know that it's sunk in. Somebody else elevated that, and they said you should say it until they start making fun of you. If your team's like, oh my gosh, here comes Joe again, and they're finishing your sentences, they're finishing your little mantras and stuff, that's really when it's sunk in. They know it so well, they can finish the statements. They make fun of you for doing it. You're over the top. Okay. So have that inspiring vision and communicate it until your team is teasing you about it. Moving forward, chapter 9 in the book is on self-discipline. A lot of people, when they get to chapter 9, they wish self-discipline was one of the earlier chapters as well. There's only so many chapters you can fit as chapter 1. I would say that the upper limit on that is 1. So chapter 9 is on self-discipline. There's always something that we can do better to improve our day-to-day habits. So in leadership, It's not what you do once or what you do occasionally that makes a difference. It's what do you do always as a consistent habit. So what we're trying to do is we're altering mindsets and we're altering habits. We're altering mindsets because what we think inside of our head is going to come out on our face. It's going to come out in the tone in our voice. It's going to come out in the words that we say, how we say it, how we hold our body language. What's on the inside is coming out. So hence, we need to have the right mindset, but we also need to have the right habits, day-to-day habits that are good strategy habits. If you could exchange every single day something that's a habit that's a lower value habit, maybe it's a bad habit, or maybe it's a habit that's unproductive, or it's a habit that doesn't meet your goals, it's not in line with your vision, okay, it's not feeding your purpose, you can swap that out for another habit that's more effective, right? Your life is filled with habits. Let's take those habits that are not serving our higher purpose and let's think about those for a moment. A habit that's not serving your higher purpose is really an addiction because you're doing it, you're still doing it, even though it's not feeding your higher purpose. It's not taking you forward on your journey in life, but you still do it anyway. The only reason that it's still sitting there in your life, persisting, is because it's an addiction. It's a habit that you're addicted to, and that's okay. Your brain functions by basically addictive habits. You're going to be a slave to your habits, regardless of whether those are good habits that are feeding your life purpose and taking you forward on your journey, or they're bad habits and they're just dragging you down and pulling you backwards. One way or another, we are all slaves to our habits. So we might as well swap out our habits from the habits that are not serving us to habits that are serving us. And when we're thinking about life purpose, we're thinking about why are we here? What is really giving us that sense of fulfillment in life that we feel we're moving the needle forward, not just in our own lives, but for those around us, our family, our communities, our country, the earth, humanity. What are we doing to do our part in moving life forward to a better tomorrow than what we are at today? So self-discipline is the way to get there. And self-discipline requires certain strategies. Okay. Number one is to determine where do we want to go, determine what purpose we have and what habits are in alignment with that purpose, and pick a habit that we'd like to develop from a habit that that's either underdeveloped or it's not moving us in the right direction. And let's start doing habit swaps. So maybe you get up at 10 o'clock in the morning, and maybe you want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So let's start chunking down the time that you get up in the morning to get up at an earlier time. I'll tell you that there's no people that I know of who are highly successful who are getting up, I would even say past 7 a.m. Probably just about everybody I know who's successful is getting up prior to 7 a.m. every morning, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. A lot of people beat the sun up, which is getting early every day now. So getting up early, it could be a habit that you would want to implement, and you're going to start chunking that down a little bit earlier. Having an accountability system, okay, writing down what it is, the goals that you would like to achieve. We write them down, and then we find somebody who's going to be accountable with us. We're going to commit to be accountable to them, and hopefully they commit in response to be accountable back to us. So, for example, I needed to get something done this morning, and I was speaking to somebody yesterday, and I says, okay, first thing this morning, I'm going to start working on it. He goes, okay, I'm going to call you at 6:30. I'm up at 6 every morning. So I said, no problem. 6:30 this morning, he calls me, and I help him stay accountable for the things that he wants to do. He holds me accountable, and that phone call helped the process. The fact that I've spoken to somebody else about it is increasing my probability of success in developing that habit. So find some people that you're willing to be accountable to, that are willing to hold you accountable and be accountable to you as well. And that accountability relationship is your best friend when it comes to developing more self-discipline. Okay, so chapter 9, we're talking about self-discipline. Again, if you need a coach, this is a great aspect of the coaching relationship. Not only do coaches inspire you, not only do they help you figure out your plan of action, but the coach holds you accountable. And I'll tell you that a lot of my clients will try to get all their stuff done. We'll meet weekly, and knowing that they're going to meet me and talk to me and tell me about how they did during the week motivates them to want to tell me, hey, I did everything we said we were going to do, and this is how it's working. So they get it done before they meet with me. If we're not meeting every week, that accountability isn't there, and the probability of success goes way down. So accountability is your friend. Figure out how to be accountable to somebody, figure out what you want to change, and swap out something that's not serving your purpose for something that is serving your purpose better. If you keep doing that, we'll have amazing results year over year. Last but not least is chapter 10 of the book, Developing the Leader Within You 2.0 by John Maxwell. Chapter 10 is on continuous personal growth. Continuous personal growth. Every leader that I know that's successful, that's doing great things, is on a continuous personal growth journey. Reading books, listening to audiobooks, going to seminars, taking college courses, watching podcasts or listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, following people that are professionals, that are experts in their field, learning from them on a consistent basis, taking seminars and workshops and online training. And there's all kinds of stuff out there. There's certifications, there's licenses that are out there in your field. One thing is going to trade shows or conferences on your particular subject, right? So there's a trade show or a conference on everything. Okay, I don't care if you're a dentist, there's dentistry conferences, or you put down floor tile, there's floor tile conferences, right? So in those conferences, you're going to meet other people, you're going to find out the latest and greatest of what's out there, and they're going to have educational sessions. Those educational sessions, go to them and take notes, attend those educational sessions, grow yourself in your field of interest, and develop yourself. This is very reflective of another chapter from another book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, also a book I would highly recommend. Habit number 7, Stephen Covey refers to as sharpen the saw. Sharpen the saw refers to that continuous self-improvement. Brian Tracy, another great leader, always emphasizes continuous personal development, continuous self-improvement. One of the first leadership books I ever read was The Goal by Eliyahu Goldratt, I believe is his name. But the subtitle of that book is A Process of Continuous Improvement. Okay, so continuous self-improvement is your only way to ensure that tomorrow is going to be better than today, that your future looks brighter and better. Remember that the escalator is always going down. We're trying to climb up a down escalator. The entire universe is working towards randomness and disorder. It's the second law of thermodynamics. And everything is going towards chaos and disorder. If we're not actively putting energy into continuous self-development, we're going to find that we have less tomorrow than we had today, right? So think about it. If you go to the gym every single day and you're exercising, you're going to become more fit. If you stop going to the gym, whatever fitness gains you gained, you're going to lose, okay? Same thing with relationships, same thing with maintaining any kind of car or house or property. If you're not maintaining it, it's going to get worse. If you don't mow your lawn, it's going to look ugly. Like if you're not putting energy into certain things, they're not going to stay as nice as they are today. So put energy into yourself. It's the only thing that you can guarantee that you'll always get an ROI, a return on investment, by investing time in your own personal development. So once again, we're talking about the book, Developing the Leader Within You 2.0. I feel like I have talked the entire time. But like I said, this is a great book. Listen to it on audio, get the physical book. You can sign up for a workshop from me and or the course. It's a 10-week course, 1 week on each chapter. Involves coaching and training on the book and really on your leadership and how to apply the principles from the book to your leadership and your role. People have gotten great success out of doing it. Like I said, once again, it's the book. It's the course that I train on the most. I'm literally training a couple of dozen people on it right now. Just finished training a bunch of other people on it. And so it's just a great refresher for all leaders to grow and develop their leadership based upon this book. Anyway, this has been a pleasure. A little bit different of a podcast today, kind of a quicker, shorter version today, but appreciate everyone paying attention and hanging in there. And I look forward to seeing you next time on the International Leadership Podcast. Once again, my name is Joe Beauchamp. My company is Beauchamp Team Growth Solutions. You can find me online at beauchampteam.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot.